Hey, everybody, welcome back to Bayou Time. I'm Harry McCullough. We'll spend the next couple of segments with the police chief, Houma Police Department, Mr. Travis Terrio. A couple of events that have caught of our attention for sure. Some dramatic video and then an actual murder that happened in a barroom in the area here too. Two events we don't deal with too much, but you're actually still looking out for one of the suspects.
That's right. Yeah, so if you go all the way back to New Year's Day, 2024, units responded to a complaint what they thought was just a regular hit and run at Glenwood, where a vehicle hit a house. When they looked into it a little further, they found that a Trayon Williams was actually chasing his girlfriend all over town. Vehicle was occupied by their infant. I believe it was a 4 and a 5-year-old
So three
child.
children.
I think it was a 3-month-old, a 4-year-old, and a 5-year-old, if I'm not mistaken. We're in the vehicle coming down Glenwood Avenue, and he pretty much does a pit maneuver and causes her to slide into a vehicle, then slide into a house.
This is the video right here.
Yeah.
You can see it.
You know, if you watch that, it's just so violent.
With three kids.
With 3 kids, yeah. And amazingly, nobody was hurt, you know, so I was definitely on their side. We're so thankful that nobody was injured, and, you know, you got public bystanders, and even the damage to the house could have all been much worse, and people could have been injured in the home. So amazingly, nobody was hurt. But as a result, Trayon Williams does have a warrant for his arrest for possession of marijuana, 9 counts of attempted second-degree murder, aggravated criminal damage to property, hit and run, and reckless operation of a motor vehicle.
So this happened on the first. So this is over a week ago.
Yeah,
And he's still out there.
Yeah, he is still out there. You know, hopefully, what we'd love to see is just come turn himself in. Come turn yourself into the police department. You know, we're not going to stop looking for you. Eventually, we're going to find you, and you're gonna go to jail, and you're gonna have to face the consequences for what you did.
When you're looking for a suspect like this, do you follow, I guess, people close to him? Do you think he's still in the area, or do you think he fled the area?
That part's unknown. You know, whether in the area, out the area, we whatever leads we find, we follow. You know, so if anybody calls us with information, we're going to follow up on it, and we're going to do everything we can to find him.
Do you know how that started? That chase started?
So it started as some type of argument between the two of them, and if I'm not mistaken, I heard it was over a ride. When he wanted her to bring him somewhere or something. I'm not 100%, but it started just as a couple's dispute that escalated into this. And if you notice, there was damage to the vehicle before it hit the house because they had actually hit something somewhere else, and he had caused it a wreck, and she had fled the scene. But like I said, luckily nobody was hurt. And
did you find that vehicle yet?
The vehicle has been found.
The Nissan
yeah.
Armada?
The vehicle's been found. He hasn't been found. So, you know, hopefully, you know, somebody call in with some information, and, you know, it's just tragic. It's sad that things really got to that, you know, but domestic violence is a serious and real thing in our area.
Okay. So I guess the mother of his child who's driving the car, is she okay? Do you guys provide any kind of service for her well-being?
So they reached out to her, and anything she needs, we're there. If they need any type of services, we'll provide it to our victims. But as of now, like I said, nobody was injured, or it doesn't look like there's any outstanding injuries, you know, but we do have a lot of property damage. We got these people in Glenwood who are home watching TV with their family and have nothing to do with anything, and they have substantial damage to their home and vehicle, you know.
Well, this comes through their living room.
Yeah, thank God nobody was hurt in that house, you know, because, yeah, you know, it's tragic, but, you know, we got a family that's just home watching television for the day, enjoying family time. Next thing you know, they got this guy who's loses his temper and cause somebody to plow into their house.
Right. And I guess the reason I said that about the victim in this case,
Yeah.
You could see the guy had no regard for his safety or her safety or his child or the 2 other children. So you wonder if he's still going to be an aggressor in this situation.
Right.
That would be the first place I would think he might come.
That's right. So, but like I said, we've reached out to her, and anything she needs, the police department's going to provide.
I got you. And then we had another one, and we'll talk 2 segments, but you had a murder, which is not a common thing here, but we're off to kind of a bad start with a murder that happened at a bar here.
Right. Yeah. So over the weekend, we had responded to a report of some gunshots that were fired at Thirsty's Lounge. It was Thirsty 30 Lounge, sports bar at 1301 Barataria. And when they arrived, they located a subject or a victim that they identified as Mr. Marvin Reed, 39 years of age, of Carondelet, I believe it is, Alabama. And whenever they tried rendering aid, his gunshot wounds were unsurvivable, and there was nothing that they were able to do for him. But prior to that, they were able to identify the suspect in the investigation as Christopher Botwell, 39 years old, of Theodore, Alabama. And prior to officers' arrival, he had fled the scene, but they were able to get enough information from everyone that was at the scene, and our officers were quickly able to locate and take him into custody without any further incident, without any further injury, anything like that.
So these 2 guys knew each other.
Yeah, they were acquaintances. They actually worked for the same company, and they had gone to the bar for some drinks that night. And I believe what I seen described is they were somewhat of acquaintances, but they were actually friends. They had worked together for a long time. What company they were working for, I don't know off the top of my head, but they were there together, and they got into a physical altercation.
Tragic results. So we'll take a break. We have more with the police chief, Travis Terrio, right after this.
Today's social media segment is brought to you by South Louisiana Bank. It's better when we bank together. Waits and Downer, attorneys at law. Terrebonne Ford, built Ford tough. Alford and Associates, for all of your insurance needs. CIS, Cardiovascular Institute of the South, the highest quality cardiovascular care available. Barker Honda, the Barker family tradition of quality. Terrebonne General Health Systems, modern technology and timeless caring. Rouse's, you're either local or you're not. Buick, the craft of modern luxury. St. Martin and Bourke, know your rights.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Bayou Time. Travis Terrio is joining us. He, of course, the Houma Chief of Police. We talked about a couple of incidents that happened since the new year started. One kind of a rare is a murder, but it started a barroom of 2 guys that knew each other.
That's right. Yeah, and just kind of picking up where we left off. So they got off of work. They went there for a few drinks, and not sure exactly what started the altercation, but they actually got into a physical altercation on the exterior of the bar, and it caused Mr. Botwell to go to his vehicle, retrieve a firearm, come back, shoot the victim multiple times, and then pretty much no remorse just gets into his vehicle and flees. And it's truly a tragic situation. What can draw 2 guys that work together with, we don't have no known animosity towards each other. What would cause them to do something like this is just terrible, and if convicted, it's life in prison, right, without the possibility of parole.
Right. Yeah. A bad night, maybe drinking a little too much, and you might be in jail for the rest of your life.
Yeah. Well, no, if he's convicted of second-degree murder, it's jail.
Yeah.
It's life in prison.
So these are guys, both of them are from Alabama, just down here doing a work job.
Yeah. I think they work for some boat company, if I'm not mistaken, and the boat was tied up due to weather, and they got off the boat just to go and relax, and this happened. It's tragic, but what will cause somebody to do this, I'll never understand.
Right.
It's it's truly tragic.
Well, look, bar rooms, workplaces. A lot of times, somebody may get on somebody's nerves when you're talking about drinking involved. Back in my day, I don't do this anymore, but you'd have girls involved, right? You might, hey, what are you looking at? You don't know each other, and that's sometimes how a fisticuffs can happen, but not to this extent.
I've never. I mean, it's crazy. Seems like every time you look at, one of these incidents that we investigate, or these homicides, I should say, that we investigate, and you look at the motive behind them, I mean, it's just senseless.
Right.
You just lost your temper and killed somebody. No regard for life. It's just hard to fathom how somebody can do that.
That's actually what I was about to say too. It seems like some generation, younger generation, I don't mean it is saying a generational thing too, but when you get kids that grow up, and these don't look like two kids, but don't have the hope that they're going to last too long. They don't value life as much as they.
Right.
And I'm referring to my time in New Orleans, and it just seemed like they didn't care about life that much. These two guys were older. They were both working. They were trying to be responsible from that regard anyway. And this guy just threw his life away and took the life of another guy.
Right. Yeah. You're talking about some grown adults, not talking about like 40-year-old adults. Mm-hmm. And this is what it came down to. It's just, it's sad. We'll never understand why somebody do it, because we're just not built like that.
Yeah, so 2 lives were destroyed in that day.
You got 2 lives, but 2 families. Everybody's affected. You got the work family, you have the home family. I mean, you got a town that's dealing now. You got a town that's kind of dealing with the violent side of things, but you got these other 2 communities that are both affected. You got Theodore, Alabama, and Carondelet, Alabama.
Yeah.
Both affected by this tragic event. And from what I've seen on social media, the victim seems like a great person.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've never understand.
Yeah, no, it's definitely one of those. Now, the other incident that happened, and like I said, we ended up catching dramatic video,
Mm-hmm.
and we were, I was kind of talking to you. I was like, this driving, the way he was driving, I said, it looks like he went to cop school, right?
I mean, look, you look at something. Again, how do you
with 3 children in that black car?
How do you do that? Your child is in that car. You're so mad that you don't care who's going to get hurt or what. You're going to get your point across. It's uncalled for.
And again, obviously he had his girlfriend that he was chasing with his baby in the car with 2 other children in the car. So 3 children were in that black vehicle when he did that spin out move. And then he runs into another car and another house in the same premise. So
right.
Yeah, this is again where, we all talk about de-escalating tactics. We all need to learn how to cope with certain things. He let anger get involved. Again, thankfully, nobody was hurt in this situation, but a lot of people could have been hurt.
That's exactly it. A lot of people could have been hurt. Thankfully, they weren't. But it's again, you got a family that are all affected by it.
So Trayon Williams, and you'll see, is 31 years old. He's still out there, and he's still on the loose, and you guys are looking for him, right?
Right. And look, anybody with information, contact the police department. But to Mr. Williams, he knows what he needs to do. He needs to turn himself into authorities. Right. We want a peaceful resolution. We just want him to come turn himself in so he can answer for what he did.
Yeah. And again, that's another one of those things where, all right, now hopefully you've calmed down a little bit. Now make a good decision, right? Everybody can have a terrible day, and obviously his was caught on TV, on camera, doing a bad thing. But don't escalate it any further where you're going to have some trouble where other things may be involved if he just turned himself in.
Don't let one bad decision follow up with another bad decision.
Right.
It's time to make a good decision and
right.
turn yourself in.
It'll be worse, yeah.
It'll
be worse if he continues to run, and obviously now people, you guys, when the police go after him, you're going to be on high alert trying to get a suspect.
Yeah, and we really don't know where he's at. So with all due respect, he just needs to turn himself into authorities,
right.
Because
y'all going to catch up to him.
That's right.
Now, is there a Crime Stoppers or a reward?
There's absolutely a Crime Stoppers reward. If anybody with information leading to his arrest is eligible for a reward through Crime Stoppers.
All right, Travis, I appreciate your time, man. Thanks so much. Keep us safe, man.
All right. Thank you.
All right, we'll be right back, and we'll buy you time after this.